I have begun to record. I don't know if I'm ready or not, but I've begun to record.
I'm recording as well.
I love it. I love it.
Should
I like where this is going.
Yeah, this
It's a good start.
it's a step in the right direction.
It's a good start. Yeah, both of us recording the best way to make sure that we're both recording.
Yeah, it's a magical time.
Okay.
On this episode of DC on Screen, we are talking about Robert Pattinson being Batman for realsies this time.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Wonder Woman poster. Wonder Woman 1984. We're talking about...
Be specific, Dave.
I know, right? And we're talking about Swamp Thing being canceled. We're talking about a bunch of stuff. So stick around. We're getting to all that right after this.
Boost your brand's visibility with Image 360, your expert source for comprehensive custom signs and graphic solutions. From standout office signage to dynamic trade show displays, Image 360 has you covered. Leveraging years of experience with the latest technology, our team delivers solutions that surpass your every expectation. Ready to transform your company's visual communication strategy? Get a quote at image360signs.com today. Image360signs.com.
You think of Earth as a singular planet. In fact, it is anything but. For this is a story not of a universe, but a multiverse, where universes and planets, such as Earth, were replicated and mirrored across a vibrating, infinite plane. Some barely different from the next. Others drastically so.
This is DC on Screen. Every week, Dave and Jason talk about the multiverse of DC properties on film and television. But be warned, if it's been officially released, you can expect they'll spoil it.
Welcome in, everybody, to DC on Screen, episode 550. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's plenty.
That's plenty. Oh, Jason.
Yeah, we're done here.
All right. For the 550th time, I am your host, David C. Robertson. This, the tastiest side piece a man could ask for. My trusty co-host, Jason Goss.
Oh, thank you.
So last month was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was in a strange transition period where I had two jobs and I was sleeping like 3 hours a night.
Right.
We were also watching and reviewing a bunch of season finales.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to go out of town for your anniversary.
Right.
But somewhere in there, May 18th to be precise, we had an anniversary of our own that got a little buried.
Oh.
So I just want to say that it has been an honor and a privilege, or at the very least, a lot of work and a little fun to do this podcast with you for the past 4 years, sir.
I like a lot of work and a little fun. That's my favorite of those.
And it's also at this juncture that I would like to emphatically thank every listener, reviewer, feedback producer, and Patreon subscriber, and most importantly, our families who continue to support us on this strange adventure.
Right.
So thank you to everyone. Shall we get on to the news?
On with it.
Because we haven't done a lot of news lately.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been like a month.
Mm-hmm. Or something.
Things were just rumors last time we talked.
Right. And we should have mentioned that anniversary thing last news episode. It was like, we threw that out there like 2 or 3 days after the anniversary. And then
Right.
I just didn't see it. And I kind of looked up this time and went,
It's
wait.
been years.
It's been 4 years.
It's been a percentage of a century.
Well, it's almost been half a decade. That's
Right.
the thing that messes me up. Like I was talking to Christopher White about it the other day. He's one of our oldest listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, shit, man, you guys have been doing this for half a decade. And I'm like, not yet. Not yet. You shut your filthy whore mouth. I'm not that old.
The lesser part of a decade. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, yeah, Robert Pattinson is confirmed as the Batman. How you like that, man?
Fine.
I'm good with it.
I mean, we talked at length about him as a concept before. It's okay. It's confirmed. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, Warner Brothers hasn't said, yes, it is him. But, Deadline's reporting it. And then Matt Reeves put up a little, gif of Pattinson and with a bunch of bat emojis. So I think that counts.
Yeah. I'll take that.
That feels confirmation-y.
Yeah. I mean, last time we talked, Mommy and Daddy were fighting, but I'll take this. And there still are varying reports, as far as I heard, about like what all is going on with the movie. But I'll take Robert Pattinson as confirmed.
Yeah. Now, Deadline says that this film will in no way carry on the work that Ben Affleck did as the older Batman in Batman v Superman and Justice League. So that to me says this movie is not tied in with the DCEU. But they are Deadline is saying that Warner Brothers has approved Robert Pattinson as the star and the trilogy of films that Matt Reeves will direct later this year. So, yeah, it looks like there's a trilogy going.
What do you want?
He doesn't, but that's fine.
He's going to have a trilogy or I'm just not signing on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They also said the movie will track Bruce Wayne in the formative stages of Batman, which is, why they needed someone in his early 30s.
Right.
So all that's fine. There are also rumors that from Forbes, Mark Hughes, which I would put less stock in, that Robin is apparently a strong candidate to be in the movie. Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler, Commissioner Gordon, and Alfred. I mean, who's sitting around going like, you know what? I don't think Commissioner Gordon or Alfred will be in a Batman movie.
Oh, it was definitely like throwing it against the wall to see what sticks. Sounded like.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Is Bruce Wayne in there too? I mean, let's not get crazy.
Possibly.
THR is saying early 2020 on production. So it's time for Pattinson to go get jacked and ready to bat it up.
Right. Yeah, that feels right though.
Mm-hmm. And Hollywood Reporter is saying that Penguin and Catwoman are going to be the primary villains. And we've already heard that there's going to be several villains, up to 6 villains jumping around in this reboot here. So I wouldn't mind that, have a few scenes of an Arkham Asylum or even do a kind of a Hush situation. Or they could even do sort of a long Halloween type of thing.
Yeah, with that many people, sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a lot of people. Just focus on something.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care what he does. I really don't. I'm down for it. I'll look at it. I'll see.
I'm definitely way beyond having like an invested, like emotionally invested idea for sure.
Yeah. Unless it's actually me, with my name on a script somewhere and I'm directing the thing. Show me what you got, man.
Yep.
I'll watch it. I'm not mad. Let's do a Noah Baumbach Batman. It's just Ben Stiller looking sad in a cowl.
Why not?
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Let's just actually. Have you seen the trailer for that Bill Murray zombie movie?
Yeah, I have.
That he's doing. That looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about that.
I'm ridiculously excited about that.
Yeah.
I cannot for the life of me remember. No pun intended. For the life of me, cannot remember what it's called. But
it's like The Dead Won't Stay Dead or something.
I don't know. All right, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey.
Hit it.
In a recent interview with the New York Times, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, a.k.a. The Huntress, was talking about the stunt work and how it compared to what she's doing in her new film, Gemini Man. And she says, in Gemini Man, I do a lot of running around and I get to fight some people. I had to train in jiu-jitsu, do a little tactical gun training. There's some shootouts. Birds of Prey was the next level up. In Gemini Man, I'm a DIA agent who's been hired to keep an eye on Will Smith. But in Birds of Prey, I play this assassin who's been trained since childhood. It's all women and genuinely funny and weird. It feels from the 90s in the best way. And that made me excited.
Yeah, I like it.
All of that sounded really fun.
I'd like to look back on it after I see it and whatever she meant by like the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious.
That could mean a lot of things. I'm going to be curious after I see it to see what that means.
I wonder if it's like early 90s, like might as well be 80s, or where she's coming from on that.
Yeah, that could mean a lot of things. Like Bad Boys style? Wasn't that the 90s?
Yes, it was.
I mean, it was a fun film.
It was okay.
It was a lot of fun.
It was all right.
I don't know where we're going with that.
I don't either.
Yeah, we'll
I wait with bated breath.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Vogue of all people, they're
not a source we cite too often.
Yeah, they're reporting that Birds of Prey is at 75. The production was 75 million. The budget was $75 million. So
it feels right.
If that's true, it would make Birds of Prey the least expensive entry in the DCEU.
True.
So there's that. So
I mean, coming in just under Shazam.
Yeah, so they don't have to really make anything.
Oh, no,
they'll
make that in like Friday night. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be great. So WB isn't going to be at Hall H this year at the San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I know a lot of people are upset about that. I'm personally ecstatic about it because it means way less work on our end. We get a year off, man.
Kind of. I do like it just because it's going to be there's a transition period happening, and to me, them not being at Hall H is them acknowledging that we're in transition.
Yeah,
they're working on some stuff, but
they're working on some stuff.
I like that. Like Hamada is. I think it feels like a Hamada call to kind of like keep it behind the scenes. We're just gonna work on some stuff, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything too dramatic. I think it's really just that they are at the point that, and this is what they've said, which I wasn't going to get into that just yet, but I will. I'll go ahead and do it. They were talking about how Toby Emmerich said that basically, the schedule is a little off. Like, they're not ready to put out their materials yet for Joker. They're not ready to put, because Joker doesn't hit until October. Right. Birds of Prey is going to be February 7th in 2020. Wonder Woman 84 is June 5th in 2020. So it's just the timing is a little off. So they're just not ready to do anything with that.
Yeah.
They are going to send Chapter 2 there, to San Diego Comic-Con. But it's not
they'll be represented somewhere.
It's not going to be a big deal this year. And he did say that they'll be back in 2020.
Yeah, I believe
there's just, timing's a little off. But
that's fine. I like them admitting that.
Yeah.
And not trying to reach for it.
But Patty Jenkins said, we're not going to Hall H this year. We're so sad to miss you there, and waiting until December to start our official Wonder Woman 84 campaign in full. So we know that we can glean from that they're going to start ramping up their propaganda
right.
for Wonder Woman 84 in December. But she says the truth is we can just barely wait, and then put out this new poster. And I don't know why, but there are some people who are really pissed off about the poster, and I didn't see what they were saying because I didn't care. Because all I saw, well, to be fair, I think the first time I saw it, you showed it to me on your phone, and I couldn't see it for shit. But I was like, what the hell is that? Well, I think it was just like a kind of a glare on the phone, and I couldn't tell what it was, tiny and whatever. Because it's like there's a lot of vibrancy and a lot of color all around a very golden armored Wonder Woman who's very tiny in the middle of that picture.
Yeah.
Especially on a little phone.
Yeah.
So, and also I'm probably going blind.
Possibly.
But when I actually got to really look at it, the first thing I thought was her armor from Kingdom Come.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
That was the first thing I thought. I was just like, oh, shit, they're doing Kingdom Come armor.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
No, they ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I was so excited. So I don't know.
I saw it and just thought, like, man, this is the best part of the 80s distilled. I mean, it's like it's too much. Like, it's a cocaine dream of some kind.
Yeah.
And like you can hear David Bowie in the background when you're looking at that photo.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it was gorgeous.
Yeah. Like, that looked ridiculous and amazing, and I'm down.
Yeah. But that's actually, the best version of the 80s is that was ridiculous and amazing.
Mm-hmm. Like, that man had a rat tail inside of a mullet, inside of a perm.
With a leisure suit.
But the arms are pushed up, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Where's Richard Simmons?
That's the subject of an entire podcast, man.
I know.
It's a really good It's a really good.
Listen to that, actually.
It is a good podcast. Dan Taberski, man. He makes a mean podcast. Running from Cops, Surviving Y2K. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm going to look into that leg soon.
Alrighty. So, Suicide Squad, Joel Kinnaman posted a picture of himself at a gun range on Tuesday and said that he was, quote, easing into that squad prep. So, there you go.
Well, yeah.
Mark Hughes, in that Forbes article that he wrote, also mentioned that Joel Kinnaman was coming back. He thinks, by the way, in that article that Idris Elba is playing Bronze Tiger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's been speculation for a while.
It absolutely has. It's just a person closer. But even in that article, he's talking about like, shit doesn't come out the way people at Warner Brothers are being very cagey and not telling me what's going on. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm happy he's attached. I don't give a shit how this works out. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be happy with it either way.
Now, this was super interesting to me, and this actually made me go ahead and bump up Mr. Miracle. on my to read list, and I have finished Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, me too. It was fantastic.
Well, you know, I thought we were gonna, you know, not give them the spoilers on what we thought, but you know what? That's fine. We'll actually have a real review of it on Patreon. Patreon.com/DC on Screen, the $5 tier. That's what'll get you our feed.
Right.
But our secret feed.
Yeah.
Secret.
Spoilers. It was great.
It was great. It was pretty great. I'll get into that deeper on the review. But Tom King, the writer of Mr. Miracle, is co-writing the screenplay for New Gods with Ava DuVernay.
I like it.
And the Wrap reported it, and then I feel like it's confirmed because Ava DuVernay posted a picture of herself with Tom King and said, "Hey, Tom King, are you ready to start writing New Gods?"
Yeah, that feels pretty definitive.
Yep. I'm excited. I know,
I'll roll with that.
I know Jack, not Jack. I'm thinking of Jack Kirby. I know Tom King is divisive. And I understand why he's divisive. I didn't love I Am Gotham, and I haven't yet really delved into any more of his Batman stuff. Mr. Miracle was divisive, I think. I think it was an interesting take, but I really enjoyed a lot of what he did with those characters and the way he characterized them. And
I think it was maybe the least divisive thing he did.
Probably.
I mean, it went over very well, and
apparently
it was a lot of fun.
Apparently his Vision series at Marvel went over really well as well.
See, I haven't read that.
I haven't either, but I've heard.
But based on this, I believe
stellar things.
Would probably have a good take on it. Yeah,
probably. But yeah, so
I've read his Batman run so far. I've been up to date on, and what Heroes in Crisis, Sanctuary kind of series. I'm pretty well inundated with Tom King. I for the most part like his stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't read Heroes in Crisis. I've kept up with what it did. Like, I just went full spoilers and read articles and stuff about it. And without actually looking at the pacing or how it was actually executed, I dig it.
It was a fun take, man. It was a cool story.
So I'm down with Tom King doing New Gods with Ava DuVernay. And I don't know what to say about it other than that. Like, I think, I mean, we've heard a lot of rumors about why his Batman run was shortened like a year.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to wrap it up in his own little miniseries, which I think based on what Dan DiDio has said in the past, I think he wanted to actually do something with Batman that would have seriously changed the character and continuity. And I think Dan DiDio was like, nope, you're not going to do that. We'll put you in a separate universe for that part of it. And
yeah, entirely.
Do something else.
Everything's rumor right now. It could be that. It could just be that they decided to go somewhere entirely, and he didn't like the direction. We don't know.
But if part of it was, oh hey, Warner Brothers wants you to write New Gods.
Yeah, that could play in because the timing was perfect.
Mm-hmm. But during at a spotlight panel in 2018 at New York Comic Con, a fan asked King if he would do any more Mr. Miracle or do anything else in Jack Kirby's New Gods. And he completely dismissed it. He said that he was done with that corner of the DC universe and that Mr. Miracle was their definitive statement on New Gods. So, but I've seen that reported as a bunch of, as reasoning for why this New Gods movie is an adaptation of Mr. Miracle. I don't think it will be.
It could be an adaptation, but he had a better handle on the New Gods than a lot of people have had. I mean, his take on that so-called corner was pretty solid, pretty fleshed out.
Yeah. What did you think of his Granny Goodness?
A Kirby fan, man. Oh no, that's the best version of her I've seen in a long time.
Right.
It's rare for me not to hate Granny Goodness, and this was a rare exception. Yeah, I liked it.
When I was reading the book, I was still hearing Ed Asner through her.
Oh yeah, you should. It was iconic.
Yeah. Good night. That was good show. Good comic. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm down.
I think he had like I said, he had a fleshed out enough picture. I think he can do another story with these characters, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he's not a one-trick pony. He's got some depth to him.
No, I think he can write this.
A friend of mine said that Tom King needs a therapist, not another monthly comic. And I said, I think that's precisely why he needs another monthly comic.
Both please. I think he has a therapist.
Yeah.
Way he talks about things, I think he's a person who's been to therapy or at least knows the language of it.
Mm-hmm. But this is, one of those guys who's like, superheroes should be bright and fun all the time. And blah, blah, blah.
No, not all the time. Every now and then you deconstruct the motherfuckers.
That's right. All right, so over to Black Adam.
Hit it.
I don't know this guy's name. Yame Colette Serra. This is the guy who's directing The Rock in Disney's Jungle Cruise. I don't know what that is, but it's apparently a thing that The Rock is in, and this guy's directing it, and this guy is apparently also directing Black Adam.
All right.
That's what good old Dwayne Johnson is saying. Yeah. He says, we've worked together for the last 2 years making Jungle Cruise, and I've been very impressed with his passion, work ethic, style, vision, tone, and quality. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll roll with it.
There you go. That's the most news we've gotten on Black Adam in some time, really.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of people saying, I thought Black Adam was dead. I'm like, no, that's never been the case.
No.
I've never heard that. What tipped you off to it being dead? Was it the likeness of Dwayne Johnson as freaking Black Adam and Shazam, or his name in the credits as a producer?
No, that project has been live since, it's been 2 years now.
I mean, no, he's been attached for something like 10 years or something.
It's been a minute.
Something crazy. But anyway, yeah, I'm fine. Let's just do it. Show me a thing.
Yeah.
Now, in that Mark Hughes Forbes article, he said that Supergirl is tentatively expected to start production in the first quarter of 2020, and that he suspects that we will hear casting information start to circulate in a few months. I didn't realize Supergirl was still a thing that was happening. That was a rumor that I heard a long time ago, and then everyone was saying, they're not going to make a Superman film because they're going to make a Supergirl, and then I didn't hear anything about it. Here's my question to you, though, and I've seen this floating around. Since Supergirl the show is about to reach 100 episodes, if they make a Supergirl movie, you think the show goes away?
Oh yeah, oh for sure.
I have never wanted a Supergirl movie more.
I mean, it's not like CW isn't. They will clearly make a thing until they don't feel like making that thing. I mean, Supernatural's on. Genuinely, I think they're finishing after 18 seasons.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Which, you notice Arrow, they were going to keep going with that until Stephen Amell was just like, no.
Yeah, I've got to get back to my family. Yeah.
No. If that had been Jensen Ackles pulling double duty, playing Oliver Queen.
Well, first of all, we probably had a crossover by now. But
yeah, where he's playing both characters.
Right. And they will keep going with 1.5 million viewers a week. That's all the ratings they need to keep something going. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, with the movies, I think we're in an era where you can have it going simultaneously, and it's not going to be a big deal.
Right.
I just haven't heard anything about Supergirl for a while. And what I have actually heard is people making moves on Superman. Mm-hmm. And not that they couldn't put out those 2 movies simultaneously and it'd be fine, but I just hadn't heard anything about that for a while. Beginning production early 2020, I'm just bullshit. I'm just gonna bullshit on that.
All right. I would be fine with it if it happened, I guess. All right. Well, again, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I'm down. Just no, I doubt it.
And I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I mean, I don't Supergirl is not my favorite show. I wouldn't mind seeing it go away, but I favor shorter runs for TV shows.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I really do.
I understand.
The British ruined me. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you end after 2 seasons of 6 episodes each and a special and make me miss you?
Do 12 hour-and-a-half long episodes and call it a day. Mm-hmm. I get it. I do.
All right. You wanna get over to TV?
Yeah. Hit it up.
Well, Swamp Thing is canceled.
Yeah. We hardly knew thee.
We don't know why. James Wan doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Now, James Wan is, he's got his name attached to several projects.
He has recently made a mint.
Yeah, he was not there on the day-to-day. I believe that falls on Lynn Wiseman. Mm-hmm. There have been several reports that Swamp Thing was supposed to get $40 million in tax breaks from North Carolina. but that was a mix-up and it was drastically reduced. But, now we know that's not the case. They got, they were going to spend $20 million on the pilot and then $4.9 million back, and then they got a separate bit from the there's a whole bunch of crap going around. Who knows? North Carolina has adamantly disputed certain claims, and I think really is probably just there was a problem creatively. It's an expensive show, sure, but there is a problem creatively between the direction. For the direction, there was a problem between the higher-ups and the people who were actually making the thing. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like for a while.
We're not going to pay for this. We don't like this.
Yeah, the actors weren't happy.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that. We knew the season, the episode count had been shortened. It just didn't seem like Mommy and Daddy were getting along again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like if James Wan doesn't know, I have no chance of knowing.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be in the dark there. But at this point, all we can hope for is that I think 10 episodes we're gonna get are something that feels like a decent wrap up.
Yeah, I hope for a decent wrap up. I will say I've seen the first episode and I did not care for it. I pretty much have so far. Me and my wife have sat there and gone, this dialogue is really not good.
I don't have a dialogue problem. I like the first episode. The only thing that didn't have me baited was I'm not a big fan of the horror series, and doing a horror television show, like a true horror television show, is it's really hard to do. Because with horror, you have to always be hiding something from the viewer, and to try to do that over even 10 15-minute episodes, that's a hard job.
Well, that whatever that guy's name is, the guy with the guy that was standing up on stage giving his little speech to the town.
Didn't like him.
We were like, what is that accent he's doing? We know what he's trying to do. They're in Louisiana, but that's some True Blood shit, man.
Yeah, I call this the True Blood problem. Yeah. Precisely the thing I thought of, yeah.
So there's some stilted acting going on. I don't know what all is happening. It just, I'm only one episode in. I'll watch the rest of it. We'll do a proper review right here
the second
on DC on
too,
Screen.
And I like it. I've enjoyed it. But I do get, the only problem I've had is, and it's not even the show's problem, is I don't care that much about that universe. And I did like that the first episode made me care more about that universe.
Okay.
But, second episode, same thing. But I think it's flavored it for me, knowing that the show had problems before I even watched the pilot. And then, 3 days after the pilot comes out, we've canceled it.
I don't think it's flavored it for me, but it's because I'm always willing and able to be outraged over the cancellation of something brilliant.
Ah, yeah. And given the rest of the DC universe, you were...
Yeah, I was ready to be...
The bar's pretty high.
Yeah, I was ready to be just floored. Like, what? How could they do this? I know, I could see it. I see it.
I mean, statistically, it has to happen.
It had to. I'm glad we got it out of the way.
Titans and Doom Patrol Season 1 were, and I'm not misusing the word, phenomenal. They were... I was flattened by those fucking series.
I would have said that about Titans until I saw Doom Patrol. And then I was like, you know what? That was less than phenomenal.
Apparently
I'm sorry.
They were holding back. I didn't know that.
That was pretty great. But Doom Patrol, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to lie, man. I hate to say it this way, and I'm sorry for the crew members and everybody who enjoys the show. I really am. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of okay with it. Not even happy, just relieved. Like there's been a weight lifted.
Well, I was excited about it until I heard about the behind the scenes stuff, and I thought, oh shit, this could be like a family member in a coma situation.
Right. Now, look, I'm not excited because the show is canceled necessarily. I mean, I am. I'm a little relieved that there's less to watch. But
well, it's not that. I would be happy about watching it if it, well, like you said, if it was some snippet of brilliance that we hadn't seen before.
I mean, my primary concern, and this is what is making me happy right now. I was like, this is DC Universe. If they invest a certain amount of money, they are going to keep things going, even if they're not very good.
Oh, that was a worry. Okay.
That was a worry for me. And I see that's not necessarily the case now. They are willing to just axe a thing and be like, nope, this wasn't working. Sorry, guys.
See, but like diagnostically, I don't know if they cut it because it wasn't working or they cut it prematurely and it didn't work as a result?
Well, we don't know because they were, they've already, whatever I think we're seeing is what they cut initially and what they intended. I don't think we'll get to that until episode 10. I really don't think we'll get to anything altered until episode 10.
The last few episodes, but yeah. I think the pilot was probably darned close to what the creators intended.
Yeah, I mean, we won't know. Maybe we'll eventually know. Maybe someone will bring it up. Now, and you guys know, I was excited about Swamp Thing more than, anything.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to do it well or and there's going to be all these problems, I mean, I don't want a weird hackneyed show. I just, what I have seen did not feel anything like Alan Moore. It didn't feel like anything that I was really excited about seeing. And I will watch the rest and hopefully it'll be good and hopefully it'll have a good ending. And I'll be like, you know what? That was a fine foray into the swamp. I'm happy that exists.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that, like Swamp Thing itself, it's some weird amalgamation that should probably have been put down.
Mm-hmm. And and maybe they haven't said it's never coming back definitively. Maybe if it's good and we continue to watch it, because I've already heard people. My pastor today was talking about like, oh, it's already canceled. I'm like, no, if you like it, keep watching it. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
It'll come back in some form or
we don't know what
fashion.
the rules are for them. I mean,
we don't.
They have all the reins in their hands. Like if there's enough of backlash, they maybe they do. I don't know.
They effectively canceled this thing after one episode.
Right. That didn't even have like the entire +7 numbers, but like they canceled it before it. It's hard to even describe how quickly. Like they might as well have canceled it the week before it actually aired.
They canceled this thing so quickly. It's clear that ratings were not the issue.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. It was over. It was over before it began.
Yeah. So I don't know why or what that's about, but the final episode airs August 2nd. I would still encourage you to watch it, see what you think, and let DC Universe know if you want
tell them. It will probably be the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm betting, man.
That's what I would bet. All right, so a lot of people have also said that it's been reported that DC Universe is flailing, that DC Universe is, the future is not certain for DC Universe. Well, I would say obviously DC Universe doesn't have a certain future.
All right.
It's still a business, but moderator Applejack, what's his name? That's all I wrote down. Moderator Applejack on the Watchtower forum wrote, "Hi friends, a million thanks for your patience. We understand this has not been an easy time for you as fans, and I will do my best to provide you with a satisfying answer. First, some updates. The full 10-episode season of Swamp Thing will continue to air on DC Universe with new episodes released weekly. There are no current plans for a season 2. So no current plans. That does leave a little sliver for hope.
Sure, if you want to, but don't.
If you want to." He says, "We appreciate there are questions," or he or she, I don't know. "We appreciate there are questions as to why, but unfortunately, we are not in a position to answer at this time." So
Perfect.
There's that. And now the good news. DC Universe continues to develop new shows, new seasons, new stories, more availability, and more platforms. We've got a lot of exciting plans for our other shows in the works and look forward to sharing more in the coming months. That's all the information I have to share at this time. Now that you have the goods, we will be going back through the threads and removing the false rumors and speculations that this choice means DC Universe or any of our other original series were affected.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's
that just
great.
cracked me up.
I love Snapper Carr showing up in the somewhere in the DCU footnotes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it looks like onto the CW, and it looks like CW is not renewing their deal with Netflix. So apparently there is a multi-year deal in place already. So they will continue to have the shows they already have like a week after the season finales.
8 days.
Or 8 days, sorry.
Yeah.
But with the new shows like Batwoman, Nancy Drew, Katie Keene, they are actually being shopped out possibly to other streaming services. Now we know that Warner Brothers has got a streaming service coming very soon. And, importantly, CW is co-owned by Warner Brothers and CBS. And, see, Nancy Drew is owned by CBS. Batwoman is owned by Warner Brothers. And Warner and CBS are making Katie Keene. So they're just looking at their options, man. That's what they're doing. I mean, for all we know, some of this could wind up on CBS All Access. Some of this could wind up, I very much doubt it will be Hulu. I imagine it'll either be the Warner.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think Hulu is Fox and NBC, isn't it?
All I remember is Fox.
Oh, Disney owns a lot of Hulu now.
Yeah, I believe
because of the Fox deal. So we just stop saying Fox. It's just Disney.
It's true. Fox is no longer a player.
Anyway.
It's all the mouse now.
Mark Pedowitz is saying that Arrow is going to have an 11th episode that's just a retrospective episode as part of his final season.
That's weird, but okay.
Isn't it? He says it's 10 episodes plus a retrospective to celebrate the 8th season.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but okay.
David Ramsey, guy that plays John Diggle, says no one really wants to make Arrow without Emily Bett Rickards. He says we go back and Emily's not a part of it. That's a big thing. No one really wants to do that show. I'm like, well, damn, dude, just say it.
He's out.
He says, but Steven and I both had conversations with the producers telling us exactly what they want to do with the next season, and it really is exciting. I don't know how they're going to do it, but whatever you think could happen is probably something else. So that's actually exciting to me.
Yeah.
You had all this negativity up front where he's like, nobody wants to be a part of the show without Felicity. And you're like, well, damn, dude. And then he's like, but they told us some stuff that really made me excited and I want to do it. I'm like, okay. Well, that's burying the lead, but all right. But Joseph David Jones, the guy that plays Connor Hawke, according to Deadline, has been promoted to a series regular for the final season.
Oh, so flash forwards are going to keep going?
Oh, yeah. Looks like it. Looks like it. Now, this kind of cracked me up a little bit. During the upfronts, it was revealed, there was key art revealed for Crisis on Infinite Earths, all right? We saw Supergirl, there was Batwoman, there was Legends of Tomorrow there included.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil Klemmer has been talking to comicbook.com about how they're going to handle being a part of this thing. He says they've already started to figure out how the show will retain its personality while still quote unquote playing nice with the other series on the network during Crisis.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's that's weird. That's a weird phrasing.
He says, we've got a trick up our sleeve. There is a way. It's a very, very fine needle to thread, but I do feel like there's a way that we can coexist with the greatest crossover ever. And again, we're not forsaking the Arrowverse. We love it. But I think once we establish this habit of reinventing ourselves every season, you've stepped into the hamster wheel. Or not a hamster wheel. That sounds miserable. Onto a merry-go-round. And that thing is spinning so friggin' fast right now, we'll be thrown to our death if we try to step off. So the only alternative is to keep going faster and faster. I think we're made confident by the fact that the things on our show that seem like the wildest conceits, musicals or puppets, kind of remind the audience of the core strength of the show, which is the characters and their relationships. In a weird way, that the more outlandish the show is, the more real the legends feel. So we're going to rein it in, but we'll find a new way to be weird next season.
This sounds like a guy who spends about $800 at Starbucks a month. Like, that guy said that, and 20 minutes later, passed out in the shower.
Possibly. Oh, God.
I feel bad for him.
Now, here's a fun little bit from the season 5 synopsis they released. Most of it's just a recap of what happened in season 4.
Sure.
But he says, can they stop literal hell that Astra unleashes on the world in the finale? And what happens when the legends awaken the original Guardians of Time? No, not the Time Masters, sillies. That was season 1. Who wish to erase everything the legends have screwed up for the better over the past 4 seasons. So I guess that's a little window into what they might be looking at doing or what they are looking at doing for season 5.
Oh yeah, that's what's happening. But I like it though.
Yeah, it sounds all right. Now, have you heard anything about the Crisis on Infinite Earths schedule?
Nope.
Okay, so good Lord, I'm going to try to get this right.
Yourself. Okay.
I'm going to try to get this right. All right.
All right.
Mark Pedowitz, CW president, says that it will be broadcast over 5 nights across 2 quarters.
He said quarters. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
So
Deadline.
there's gonna be a cliffhanger.
Yeah, Deadline says that indicates that 3 episodes will air in December, with the remaining 2 airing in January, and which makes sense because Legends of Tomorrow is not coming back until January.
All right. You know, I'm good with it though.
That's fine. It's just, oh boy, that's a lot to take in.
That is a lot to take in. I'll. The only thing that'll annoy me is if, and by 2 quarters, he clearly means last 3 months of, 2019 and first 3 months of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It could be 1 or 4, however you want to break it up. It's 5 episodes over that span. The only thing that'll annoy me is if it's like we're getting into the regular episodes airing again.
Mm-hmm.
And I still haven't seen the wrap up on that.
I'll tell you this. I think it means the Arrow is gone before the break. I think they end right before the break.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they're going to, like, at least one of those crossover episodes is going to be an Arrow episode.
Mm-hmm.
So it literally may be the last episode in that crossover.
It might be. Maybe
I
they'll
think that in
hold
memoriam
it off.
probably means they're going to do all of this and then come back and do an in memoriam in like first quarter.
Maybe.
That would be my bet.
All right. Well, one final piece of news here. Lucifer has been renewed for a 5th and final season. No
Best
word
news.
on how. Really?
Best possible news I could have received about Lucifer.
The 5th part or the final part?
Both.
Oh, okay. I know you were enjoying season 4 more than you have enjoyed collectively the entire rest of the series.
That's exactly it. Like season 4 was better than the last 3 seasons combined. That, like, they did more to expand and have fun with the Celestial story in the last season than they have in literally years.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, I need to get to that soon. I haven't.
I think I enjoyed. Like it was one of those where like I kind of watched the first episode of the 4th season and thought, okay, let's just see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of enjoyed myself, like the same way I enjoyed the first episode, where it was actually a really good pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pilot for this series was fantastic. It went off the rails after that, but it's not even that it went off the rails. It just didn't do anything. It didn't do enough. It didn't accomplish anything. And then a few episodes into the last season, or this last season, I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, they're actually doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that I watched the last episode and went to click the next episode and thought, oh shit, that was it. Fuck. Like I was actively disappointed.
Well, hey, that's good news, I guess.
There's specifically one thing that happens that was very gratifying.
All right. Well, I will watch it soon. I'll probably just go ahead and start binging that relatively soon, so we can do a review of it. And for the 3 people who care about Lucifer on our who listen to our show,
it's like the last of our review chores for this season.
Mm-hmm. Well, there will be Krypton coming up. I mean, it's all year now.
It really is all year now. There's no the word season is defunct.
Yeah, that's why the premieres just need to, especially with these shows that are just streaming, and it's like, oh, in 10 weeks we'll be done. Like, let's not do a premiere review.
We'll just wrap it up after.
Just do a season review. Be done with it.
We'll see you in 8 weeks on Swamp Thing.
Which I am still excited about. I still want to. I hope Swamp Thing's great. I hope Lucifer's great. I always hope everything's great. I don't always expect it to be, but
yeah, you always hope though.
I always hope. Look up my little Superman here.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do, you bright bastard?
One of the 45 you can see from your office.
That's right. What of it?
I could probably point out like 17 in just the corner of my office. I get it.
Mm-hmm. It's just a growing. It's just a growing, y'all. All right. So that's going to be our show, I think, for the night or day or whenever you happen to be listening to our show. Thank you, by the way, for listening to the show. Like I said before, if you want to become a patron, throw us that sweet, sweet cashola. You can get access to our little secret feed. Secret feed. And find out what we think about the Marvel movies, or find out what Jason thinks about several comic books in Jason's pull list, or what kind of squirrels we chase. We have a little series called Chasing Squirrels. We just kind of cut out long segments of us rattling sometimes in these shows. And I just posted a new one. And we'll have more stuff floating out there. We got warm-ups sometimes. I'm pretty happy with what we've got on the Patreon feed and look forward to adding more to it.
Indeed.
you better be throwing us that money so you can hear our fantastic thoughts on all the things.
Of course.
My born salesman.
Most impotent threat I've ever heard.
But seriously, thank you guys for all the support. And until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Our opening narration was from Dan Jurgens' The History of the DC Universe, Part 3 of 10, as featured in DC 52, Week 4. It was performed by me, David C. Robertson. Intro music by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Future Elevators, could be found on Spotify or future-elevators.com. Our introduction was performed by Effie Oppelders of the fantastic podcast Stealing the Remote, which lives on SoundCloud. It can also be found on iTunes and Stitcher. We are proudly in partnership with TV Time, TV show calendar and social media site that lets you keep track of what you're watching, what your friends are watching, and where you all left off. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. Visit maladjusted.tv for more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, an improvised web series, vlogs, parodies, and more.